Okay. Test.
Test.
Is that the level you're going to talk at the whole time?
Probably I'll talk like this unless I get a little fired up.
Okay. Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Your first pod.
First pod. I've been waiting for this day forever.
Literally.
Since you started this podcast, I've been waiting for this. Finally, the day has come. It's game day, baby.
Oh, man. Well, welcome back to Name 3 Players. I'm your host, Raegan, usually hosted by myself and by Victoria, but Vick's in Paris celebrating her 30th, so I'm joined by my one and only dad, Coach Wags. So, we're happy to have you.
Happy Friday, everybody.
He's been waiting for that, too. Oh, so we're on location in the lounge. You've heard us talk about that, where my dad, we watch the Chiefs games. It's a one-of-a-kind place, I would say. And my dog is here. My mom is here. It's just a family affair.
The whole damn family. We're just missing Haley and Vinny.
I know, the whole family. So we're going to take you through a normal episode. We're going to cover the top 3 sports stories of the week. Got a little breakdown segment that I think, Dad, you're going to take the lead on.
Okay.
I've got a glass of wine. He's got a Tito's and soda. So.
I mean, we're ready to rock and roll.
We're cooking. What do you say? Cooking with
We're
what?
cooking with gas, baby. Turn the flame up.
Oh, my God. Okay, so if you are new here, welcome. This is Sports for the Girls. Whether you're a dedicated sports girly and don't really know your shit or just need some bullet points for your hot date this weekend, Dad and I have got you covered.
Hey, we're just here to help. We're going to give you some pearls today and see if you can make a pearl chain out of this.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, Dad, you're no stranger to the episodes, but usually we start by chatting about our week. How's your week?
Well, I just, this week I had my first girls basketball game that I announced. I'm the PA announcer for the boys and girls at the high school where I teach and coach. And so we had our first girls game tonight, and boy, we got our asses whipped.
Oh, no.
Yeah, god dang.
You hate to hear it.
Yeah, it was ugly.
Well, okay, so give a little background to the girls. Like, what do you do? Why do you love sports?
Well, I coached varsity football for 21 years. I was the assistant boys golf coach while I was still coaching football. And then as I got to the point where I wanted to step down from football, the head golf coach asked me to take over the boys and girls program. And so I took that over in 2019. And I couldn't be happier. I loved coaching football. Don't get me wrong, but this, coaching golf and being around different kids has been like a shot in the arm, a refresher.
There we go.
Yeah, kind of like recharging my batteries.
I love it. And if you do hear some paper crinkling in the background, Dad kept it old school. I'm reading off my computer. He printed off his notes. We love him for it. So
I mean, I still keep a day planner that I write in.
I was laughing one time I was over here and you were planning stuff for the golf tournament. And I was like, this man has written everything down on one of those yellow notepads.
Love the yellow notepad.
I can't live without a computer.
Yeah, I got to have the yellow notepad and a good pen, and then I'm set. Okay.
It's the simple things.
Yeah, and then writing in my day planner, I open it up every day when I get to school and I look at it, and I know it by heart, but I still have to look at it to make sure I'm not missing nothing.
Well, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So.
You can't. What do they say? You can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Very true. So.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, that's a little intro for Dad. I mean, we always joke that I'm like the boy daughter because you guys have heard me talk about my sister. Haley likes sports. She's never really gotten into them.
Right. She likes the atmosphere.
Correct. The social aspect of it all. Whereas Dad and I went to a football game on Christmas Eve last year, and I think I said something, and he looked at me and he was like, "You knew that?"
Yeah.
So, learning, growing, and evolving. That's what we always talk about on the pod.
Exactly.
Well, you gave us a little intro, but we always like to chat about our wins and losses of the week too, because this is a sports podcast. So hit me with your win, hit me with your loss.
My win of the week is getting to help, co-host this podcast with you because, like I said, I've been waiting since you started to do this. So, my loss, I would say probably that the weather was so nice today that I couldn't play golf. I had to go coach golf, so that was probably my loss for the week. But, it's just Wednesday, so we're just getting started.
Right, that's true. At least you got to be on the course. You just weren't the one hitting the balls.
Right. I got to watch some good golf swings today at the range, but I watched some ugly swings. Like, they should maybe think about taking up tennis.
All right, well, if your dad's golfer's listening to this, you heard the man.
Well, every swing's unique, like a snowflake.
Jesus. Well, sorry that you couldn't play golf, but
That's all right.
whip him into shape.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We had an open range today, so I sent my 8 returning players to the golf course because I don't need to watch that shit on the range. So I had 15 new kids that are going to try out for the team. I got to go watch them hit golf balls today, and boy, I'm glad we got a few more sessions in store.
Jesus. Ruthless.
So.
All right, well, my win is doing this with you also.
Yeah.
I think it's a long time coming.
It is.
So we're getting her done, and you guys are in for a treat, I'll tell you that.
That's right. Buckle up.
I got to the house first, and he walks in the door from calling the game. He's like, I think I need a vodka. I was like, well.
By God, don't mind if I do.
My loss of the week, I think, would be, it's not really a loss because it's like my job, but once a month we have to like deep clean the store.
Yeah.
And today I did that, and moving 20-pound dresses from rack to rack. There's 100, I counted. So
wow.
I got my arm workout.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
So not even really a loss, just like a little inconvenience.
Right. That's what I'd say. Mine was an inconvenience too, but you know what? The sun's going to come up tomorrow.
One thing about Dad is he has a one-liner.
Goddamn it, good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, I'll be at school tomorrow.
Oh my God. All right. Well, usually we start off with the recap of last week's episode, any notable changes that have happened in the stories, but if you're a consistent listener, we haven't had a real episode in a couple weeks since like pre-Thanksgiving. So we had our unthankful episode with our friends. We took a week off. We had Vick's birthday episode last week. So we're just getting back in the swing of things. So there's not really much to recap. But we will recap the week 13 football games, a couple of them, just because I want to hear your thoughts.
Okay.
And then we'll make our picks for this week together.
Okay.
And then we'll go into our top 3 stories.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. Well, I don't think we should beat around the bush, so we'll start with the Packers and the Chiefs because we didn't watch this game together, and usually we're texting during games, but I was down very bad on Sunday.
Yes,
so.
You were supposed to come out, and you couldn't answer the bell.
I could not. I made a commitment early in the morning. As the day went on, I wanted to die, so I had to bail on my parents, but watched the game from my own home and wish that I honestly just slept through it.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I watch the game, and normally a loss for the Chiefs gets me irritated and pissed off. It ruins my whole week. Mm-hmm. Okay? But watching that game, we had 2 possessions in the first half and got 2 field goals. They had 2 possessions in the first half and got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So we were never in it in the first half. And then the second half rolls around, you think, okay, Mahomes magic, here we go. But, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but this dude is throwing to Ray Charles and Helen Keller. And, he's trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, besides Kelsey, okay? Right. But Kelsey's getting double and triple teamed, so he's still on pace for like 1,100 yards and 112 catches and 8 or 9 touchdowns. And he's been basically mauled this year.
Yeah.
So It just was a weird game, and all the injuries, the way, with Tranquil getting the concussion, and then Brian Cook going down, and then Donovan Smith with the stinger, and it's just like we've gone all this year with no injuries, and now all of a sudden we get 3 or 4 in the same game.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this just was not meant to be tonight, And yeah, I was disappointed, but it's like we really didn't have, we really weren't in the game. So anyway, I'm kind of flushed that down the toilet and moving on.
I think that's fair. So if you missed it, the Packers upset the Chiefs 27-19. I think it was arguably the worst performance on both sides of the ball.
I would agree 100%. I think if you look at the Chiefs' schedule, when you looked at their, okay, this is a win, this is a win, when you saw the Packers, it was not going to be a loss.
Right.
Okay? But they are playing better. The young quarterback loves playing great. He's got those young receivers. And, hey, they came out and they hit us right in the mouth, and I don't think we were ready for it. So.
No. I would agree. So hopefully we are ready for this Sunday because we got the Bills, which we're going to chat about that too. So
okay,
a little scared.
Yeah.
And then Bengals versus Jags. Talk about injuries.
That's crazy. I mean, all these quarterbacks are going down with injuries. Like Joe Burrow's out. They played with a backup quarterback. Trevor Lawrence gets hurt. They play with a backup quarterback. The backup quarterback for the Jaguars almost ends up winning the game for the Jaguars. Mm-hmm. And Jake Browning for the Bengals is, I don't know if it's a system, if he's a system quarterback or whatever. I'm not trying to get too technical, but I mean, he came in, he threw for 354 yards. I mean, he was moving them all over the field, and whatever you want to call it, I mean, he got the job done.
Yeah.
So, but as a Chiefs fan, it was hard to root for the Bengals.
I was going to say that. So the Bengals did upset the Jags in overtime, 34-31. And after we lost on Sunday, I was like, I have to root for the Bengals.
Right.
Because the Jags are in Chiefs conference. Okay. So Jags are in the Chiefs conference, and a win for them means our seeding for playoffs as it stands is lower. So we wanted the Jags to lose in that situation, but always hard to root for a Bengals win.
Absolutely. I mean,
brutal. But as you mentioned, Trevor Lawrence did get hurt. He's diagnosed with a right high ankle sprain, so it's not broken. He should be back.
Should be back in a couple weeks. They haven't really said much about it, so we know Mahomes played all playoffs last year with the high ankle sprain, and I mean he toughed it out and played through it, but everybody's pain tolerance is different, so who knows? I mean, I guess we'll just see what happens.
Yeah. And then probably the game of the season. Well, no, I wouldn't say the game of the season actually, because it was a fucking ass whooping. But 49ers versus Eagles. This was an NFC Championship rematch from last year. 49ers stomped the Eagles 42-19.
Yeah, it was a complete undressing of the Eagles. Okay, the 49ers showed all the Eagles' weaknesses. I mean, they ran the ball against them. They threw the ball against them. Now, not to go back a couple weeks, but the Chiefs, we should have beat the Eagles.
Yeah.
Okay, but when you can't score any points in the second half, you don't fucking deserve to win. Okay,
yeah.
So, but yeah, the 49ers right now are on a roll. I mean, Brock Purdy is looking like a young Patrick Mahomes. Now, again, he's got all those weapons. He's got McCaffrey. He's got Ayuk. He's got Deebo Samuel. He's got George Kittle. I mean, so most quarterbacks, if they had that kind of ammo, they would be unstoppable. And they've got a great defense. So, they're playing really good right now. So you can't take anything away from them.
Would you call Brock Purdy a system quarterback?
I don't know, because I haven't seen enough of him. Last year he won like 7 games and then he got hurt. When they lost those 3 games in a row, he didn't have all those guys. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't want to call him a system quarterback. I'm just saying it's not easy, but you can pick your poison. You want McCaffrey to run the ball or catch the ball out of the backfield. You want to throw it to Ayuk downfield or Kittle downfield, or you want to have Deebo running, reverses and running. So I don't know. I think the jury's still out on him. He's phenomenal. He's doing great for a 7th round pick, Mr. Irrelevant to be the last pick.
Yeah.
I mean, he's proven a lot of people wrong. So
Well, he's now the new favorite for MVP. So
exactly. And I when I think about the MVP, I think about a guy that makes everybody else around them better. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying he doesn't make those guys better, but
maybe
they make him better is the way I would look at it.
Yeah.
So but hey, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he probably will win the MVP. You know? So.
And I think we'll see them in the Super Bowl. That's my prediction. Not Chiefs. I don't know what the fuck the Chiefs are going to do, but I think that on the NFC side, we could see the 49ers.
Yeah, the 49ers, I mean, they're like a train rolling down the track, and I don't know if they can be stopped.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of bought into them. Vick and I have talked about being closet 49ers fans. But they're hard not to.
Exactly.
Like, they're just a good team.
And they have so much history. I mean, when I was younger, I loved Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. So, hey, if I'm going to root for an NFC team, I'm probably going to root for them.
Yeah.
So.
I've been watching Full House lately. Can't stop, has me in a chokehold.
Oh, boy.
Cannot stop watching it. But I never realized, obviously they're in San Francisco, I never realized, like, Danny Tanner has a 49ers coat on all the time.
Yeah.
When the baby, like, Michelle is a baby, the twins are babies, like, they're always wearing, like, onesies. I was like, holy shit. I had no idea. So, like, I'm a 49ers fan. So is Danny Tanner. It's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I would call the 49ers back when Full House was when that was a show, that was a running show, that was like the 80s and 90s when they were really like a dynasty. So almost like how the Chiefs are right now,
Damn.
So anyway, I'm not saying the Chiefs are a dynasty, but been to the Super Bowl 3 times in the last 5 years, and you've won 2 of them. So, I mean, you're on the verge. If you win another one in 6 years or 7 years, you're pretty close. Yeah. So.
All right, our last game from Week 13 is the Texans versus the Broncos. And the reason I wanted to talk about this was because the rookie quarterback from the Texans, C.J. Stroud, was quoted after the game. He quoted Drewski. Have you seen that comedian?
No, I don't think so.
So he's hilarious. He always just like skits on Twitter and everything, but he's like, I'm standing on business, like talking about this shit. So CJ Stroud in his post-game interview was like, I wasn't going to let someone come in my house and beat me, and I'm standing on business.
I love it.
Everyone was like, what is he saying? I was like, holy shit. But Texans did beat the Broncos 22-17. So did that end the Broncos win streak so far?
It did. And Russ was, his nickname's the pastry chef because he can really turn it over. And man, was he turning it over for the Texans on Sunday, So he kind of came back down to earth. And I think Sean Payton, his head coach, realizes that he can't make chicken salad out of chicken shit. So, but yeah, that C.J. Stroud is... he's obviously the front runner for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Mm-hmm. He's going to be a hell of a quarterback for the next 10 years in the league.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Well, any other thoughts on Week 13?
Not really. Kind of fucked me on my parlay that week, but that's all right. I'll get over it. So I'm not a big bettor. I'll put $10 or $20 on a 2 or 3 game parlay to win a couple $100, and if I don't win, I've only lost $10 or $20. But man, does it chap my ass when it comes down to one game left to hit the parlay, and they screw the pooch. So, anyway.
Sound like Vinny. All right, so moving into 14, I was like looking at. To me, there's really only like 4 notable matchups this week. I feel like the other games are kind of sleepers. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So kicking us off, Chiefs versus Bills. Obviously, we talked about the Chiefs' performance last week. This is like rivalry week, I would say.
I would say so. The Bills are playing for their playoff life. Okay, they're 6-6. They're on a respirator right now. They're barely hanging on. But the Chiefs, on the other hand, know what's in front of them.
Yeah.
That they can't afford to lose this game. they're still going to make the playoffs if they do, but they're going to drop farther in the seeding. And I just think that, the Bills are coming into Arrowhead, okay? And when they come to Arrowhead, it reminds me of 13 Seconds. When, Patrick was the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
And I don't see how the Bills and Josh Allen, who also could be called the pastry chef, because he's turned the ball over more than any other quarterback in the NFL this year. So I look for the Chiefs to bounce back. I think they're going to be focused. Got to have Taylor Swift in the house. I mean, TK plays better when she's around. So
does he?
I think so.
Did he last week, though?
He had 90-some yards receiving while he was double and triple teamed. I mean, so, anyway, I look for the Chiefs to bounce back. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think the Chiefs win by maybe, a touchdown.
Yeah.
So
Chiefs are favored -3 so far.
Right.
So I just feel like the biggest thing is like both offenses have been inconsistent this year. So, and it's a must-win game for both teams. Us to prove that we're actually who we say we are,
right.
Them to make the playoffs. So
right.
I think it'll make it interesting.
Right. The Bills have to win in order to keep their playoff hopes alive. Even if they win, that doesn't guarantee them even making the playoffs. So they're playing it. Sometimes it's hard to play a desperate team, but I would be a little more nervous if we were going to Buffalo.
Yeah.
But they are coming here, so.
Which Arrowhead's always on our side.
Right. So. And by the way, I will be at the Buffalo Bills game.
Oh, we know.
I mean, I'm going to be down there in the huddle with Coach Reed. Calling plays. I'm going to have my headset on. I'm going to break it out. So,
my favorite thing about that is last year when we went to that Christmas Eve game, like I kind of had to talk you into it. And not for lack of love for the Chiefs, because if you guys could see where we're at right now, like my dad is sitting in front of a Patrick Mahomes hair outline, a Super Bowl champions flag. Like, there's Chief shit everywhere. It's not for that. He just likes to be able to yell and scream in his lounge by himself.
Have to.
So I talked him into it. We went. We had a great time. And so now Dad's going to the Bills game, the New Year's Eve game, the Christmas Day game.
Hey, I'm all in.
I mean, did I turn a leaf?
I think you did. And the one reason I didn't want to go to that Christmas Eve game last year, because remember, the high was going to be like 5 degrees.
Yeah.
And I'm getting older. I mean, my feet get cold. So
we actually weren't too cold.
No. Now
bad.
Now, I did have an issue. My beer froze.
Yeah.
Remember, I only got half my beer down because it froze.
Yeah.
And so, but that's all right.
Cool.
That's all right, because we were given the ultimatum by Mama Amy. She said if we came home shit-faced, that both of us were in trouble. So.
Well, my parents host Christmas Eve with my mom's side of the family, so yeah. We had a house full of people to come home to, but we did good.
We were in good shape when we got here.
We got shit-faced when we got back.
Yes. Yes, we did. So.
Oh, God. Okay, so Dad's going to be in the stands this week. So the whole family's going to be there. Actually, all 5 of us.
Yep.
My dad's going to be under the tunnel, and
I'm going to give Patrick a pep talk when he comes off at halftime, if he needs one. I'll give Kelsey a little kick in the ass if he needs one of those, too.
I would die to be a fly on the wall to watch him.
So.
All right, we'll go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.
Okay, the next one is Eagles versus Cowboys. They're also rivals.
Yeah, same division.
Yeah. So Eagles are coming off an ass whooping by the 49ers. Cowboys are coming off they're on a 4-game win streak right now since they lost to the Eagles in week 9.
Right.
So.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, their winning streak at Cowboys Stadium is like 12 or 13.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there's a lot at stake. Plus, if the Eagles still have the number 1 seed, I mean they're a game ahead. But now if they lose this game to the Cowboys, and that's going to bring the 49ers in, it's going to bring the Cowboys in, it's going to bring a lot of people into that race for the number 1 seed in the NFC. So, this is a huge game for the Eagles if they want to keep pace and be the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah.
So,
Which the Cowboys are favored.
Yes.
-3.5. So
That's gonna be a heck of a game. Probably gonna put that game in a parlay this weekend. I'm just saying.
the best thing is you'll call me on what, like a Saturday? When can you put your bets in?
Well, when the college season's going on, I do them on Friday, and then Saturday. If I win on Saturday, then I go Sunday and put more in for the NFL. So
Dad will always call me and be like, I'm going to place my bets in Kansas.
I've learned to go. My Sunday routine is I go to the Price Chopper over off of 135th and Mission Road, and I place my bets, and then I go in and buy groceries. And then I think about my bets while I'm buying groceries and think, oh, I need to bet on this too. So yeah, so it's I don't know if it's good or bad, but anyway, it kind of keeps me going on Sundays. I enjoy that.
Yeah, you'll be rooting for teams that I'm like, we like them, and you're like, no, I fucking have money on them.
Yeah, the Steelers screwed me last week on a 6-leg parlay. Bastards.
Oh, God. All right, well, I know who you're picking, Chiefs versus Bills, but who are you picking, Eagles versus Cowboys?
I think I'm going with the Cowboys. Now, I don't like the Cowboys. Okay?
One thing about Dad is he hates the Cowboys.
I'm not a fan of the Cowboys. Now, I respect the Cowboys.
Sure.
But I can't make myself root for them. I think they're going to beat the Eagles, but I'm not going to be rooting for them. So.
Okay. That's not who you want to win. That's just who you see winning.
Yeah, that's not who I want the Eagles to win because I like Jalen Hurts. I like Jason Kelsey because after listening to his and Travis's podcast, it's like you see a whole different side of those guys, and he's a cool dude. I like listening to him talk. So
yeah,
I like the Eagles to win, but I think the Cowboys are going to win. I just don't think I think the Eagles are kind of in a spot. They're hitting their rough patch. They started 10-1 and now they're 10-2, and that so we'll see how it goes.
I'm going off script here, but what are your thoughts on Nick Sirianni?
He is a slapdick. Okay, you don't go walking up the visitors tunnel and yelling and cussing out the home team fans when nobody can see you or hear you. Okay? Mm-hmm. Because I think about Andy Reid. Would he do that?
Never.
Okay. Would Bill Belichick do that? Okay. Would Mike McCarthy of the Cowboys do that? No. So that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you're going to be the head coach, there's nothing wrong with being fired up and having fire in your belly, but at the same time, you got to keep your wits about you. You got to keep your head, because when things get going rough, you got to be the steady hand that keeps everybody calm. But if you're a fly off the handle guy as a head coach, it's going to be nothing but chaos. So
spoken like a true coach.
Well, I just learned a lot from Coach Bang.
Yeah. One thing about Dad, you may hear this. Slapdick is his favorite name for people. It's either an insult or a term of endearment. Usually when it's a term of endearment, it's either slappy or young slapperton.
Yes. Yes.
If he calls you a slapdick straight up, probably not in the best way.
Yeah.
Nick Sirianni is a slapdick.
He's a complete slapdick. And anybody that wears a fucking pin hanging off of his visor is a dipshit, okay? So.
Oh my God. Okay. Next up, Broncos versus Chargers. This has been dubbed the upset of the week.
This is a fucking snoozer.
I know. I was like, both teams kind of suck.
I know.
But
it's like, you want can they both fucking lose? Because I hate both those bastards. How about a tie? 3-3. That'd be great.
If any team's going to do it, it'd probably be those two.
I mean, god damn.
Chargers are favored -2.5, but I feel like it could just be a pick 'em because they both suck.
Yeah. I'm probably going to go with the Broncos, just because one, Sean Payton, the coach of the Broncos, okay, he's I mean, look what he's done with the Broncos this year, from where they started and then where they were, and then that dipshit at fucking the Chargers, Staley, whatever the fuck his name is, he is a complete slapdick. So I'm going with the Broncos against the Chargers. and that's those are a couple of toothless dogs in that fight.
Jesus Christ. I can't agree more. I have nothing else to add. And then the last one is Jags versus Browns, and I picked this because Jags are playing without Trevor Lawrence.
Right.
But also Browns are playing without Deshaun Watson. So.
Right. Now, the Browns did bring in Joe Flacco last week. Okay, he's a former Super Bowl champion with the Ravens. Now he's an older guy.
Yeah.
And he's been around the block, but I mean, he is steady Eddie for him. So I would probably, with the Browns defense, they're like the number 1 or 2 defense in the league. And with Joe Flacco, steady Eddie, Trevor Lawrence out, I would probably, and they're playing in Cleveland. I'm probably going to go with the Browns, just
okay.
for the fact of their defense and that their quarterback, their backup quarterback, Joe Flacco, is better than C.J. Beathard, the backup quarterback for the Jags. So,
Fair enough.
That's who I'm going with. So.
You girls are learning today. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So there you go. Hey, it's a pearl. You got a pearl.
There we go. All right, well, we're going to move into the top 3 stories of the week. But first, our top 3 sports stories are brought to you by The Good Patch. Vick usually does this, so just fucking bear with me. The Good Patch are wearable patches designed to make each day just a little bit easier. Whether you need to look alive, find your zen, or clock in some beauty sleep, they've got you covered. Simply peel, stick, and wear up for up to 8 to 12 hours. We suggest the rescue for hangovers, relief for sore muscles, cycle for that time of the month, and B12 for a little extra energy. Use code NAME3PLAYERS, all spelled out, at checkout for 15% off. Whew.
Ooh.
My God.
Man,
Vick.
you better have a drink.
Vick,
God damn, aren't you
Someone?
thirsty? That made me thirsty while listening to you.
Every week, we pick the top 3 sports stories that we think that the girls need to know. We go through the stories so you don't have to, and if we talk about it, we think it's important, so you're welcome. But since we've been kind of off schedule for the last 3 or so weeks, there's a lot happening, so we're going to do our little content buckets that we used to do. The first one being college football news. Mostly Florida State getting snubbed, but the transfer portal opened and there's some thoughts there too. So, first story of college football news. The selection committee met and revealed the 4 teams that are going to compete in the college football playoffs this season. So, Michigan, the Big Ten champion, 13-0. Washington, Pac-12 champion, 13-0. Texas, 12-1, Big 12 champion. Alabama, 12-1, SEC champion. And Florida State University is 13-0, the ACC champion, and we're left off. So, this is controversial because they are undefeated, and basically what I've read is that they were judged based off of their quarterback, Jordan Travis, getting hurt earlier in November.
Yeah, he broke his ankle. I think they had the second to last game, I think it was.
Yeah.
So they played their last game with their backup quarterback.
Who, didn't he get a concussion?
He got a concussion in that game, so their third string quarterback, the walk-on, played, and then the walk-on played in the ACC championship game against Louisville.
And they won. So basically the committee, they've come out because it's like everyone's up in arms about it because they're like, how the fuck did Alabama get in, or Texas, and not Florida State? From what I've heard, the committee was like, it was a hard decision, but we didn't think that that Florida State would be competitive enough with their third string quarterback.
You can debate that they wouldn't or they would. When this committee came out or this college football playoff came out with 4 teams, everybody said this is never going to work. Okay, because there's never going to be the right 4 teams. All right.
Right.
So basically, this past summer they voted to expand the college football playoff from 4 teams to 12 teams.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the ACC, the Big Ten, and the Pac-12 voted against it. They wanted to leave it at 4 teams. Okay. So, left it at 4 teams. Okay. Everybody knows the scenario. Texas beat Alabama in Bama. Okay. Mm-hmm. Alabama beat Georgia for the SEC championship. Okay. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Florida State, 13-0. I've only been part of one team that went undefeated, and I won 3 state championships. In 2007, we were 14-0. My other 2, we were 13-1. Okay, going undefeated is very, very hard, and it's not very realistic. It's tough to do. Now, it happens more in college than ever. The pros hadn't happened since the Dolphins back in the 70s. But anyway, not to get off task. With the 4-team playoff right now, Texas beat Bama. Bama beat Georgia. And I'm not taking anything away from Florida State. It's just Alabama, Nick Saban.
Right.
Norvell, Florida State. I mean, so had Georgia beat Bama, Georgia would be in.
And Florida State still wouldn't be?
It's hard. Who knows?
Right.
Who knows? Okay. So I think, here's what I think. Because Texas beat Alabama and Alabama beat Georgia, the win for Texas over Bama increased, and the win by Alabama over Georgia increased more than Florida State being 13-0 in the ACC. I just think it was a catch-22 that I just think Florida State drew the short stick. I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I feel bad for Florida State. I feel bad for the coaches. I feel bad for the players.
It's interesting to me how much this has taken on in the media, because their head coach was like, "I'm disgusted, infuriated. This is a mockery of the sport." Micah Parsons of the Dallas Cowboys said this was a mockery of the sport. Aaron Rodgers said horns down, Florida State should have gone in. And then Jordan Travis's tweet and everything was heartbreaking. He was like, "I wish my leg broke earlier so that everyone could see that this is much more than the quarterback."
Right.
So the feelings, and it's close to home there. Obviously, that's his team that he's led to 13-0.
Sure.
So everyone has their opinions, and obviously it's changing next year. So it's just like you said, they drew the short end of the stick. But the thing that I think is the most insane that has come out of this, and I don't know if you've heard this, but Ron DeSantis wants to sue. He wants Florida State to sue the committee, the college football playoff committee.
Right.
He, in his budget, his proposed $11.4 million budget for the state of Florida, he's asking for $1 million of that to be put towards Florida State suing the committee. And that's just asinine to me. One, because you're a politician. This is sports. What are we doing? And two, the budget, the game in the national championship will be won by any team months before that budget is even approved. So, what are you doing?
Right. I mean, that sounds good. You're going to sue. That shit will be done before this would even get to a court. And, again, this motherfucker is trying to take $1 million out of somebody else's, out of his political money. It's not even his money, but he wants to sue with it.
Yeah.
So.
I read that today. I was like, there's no fucking way.
I mean.
Did you see that Nick Saban was at Liberty North High School?
I did see that.
Liberty North is a high school in the Kansas City metro area. They had just won state last weekend. This was decided, and Nick Saban was in the athletic office.
They have a defensive. Liberty North has a defensive end that's non-committed to anybody, but he's got offers from all over the country.
Oh, wow.
So Nick Saban showed up on Monday at Liberty North.
Do you think that kid will go there?
If you want to have an opportunity to win championships, he's won a state championship in high school. Mm-hmm. Do you want to go to wherever and just play, or do you want to go to Alabama and you may sit for a couple of years and then get to play your last 2 years, but you're always going to be playing for the SEC championship and you're going to always have a chance to win a national title. Same with Mario, who went to Clemson. Mizzou wanted him, KU wanted him, K-State wanted him, everybody wanted him, but he went to Clemson and he waited his time and he won 2 ACC championships. He won a Gator Bowl. He won a national championship. I mean, so.
And now he plays for the Eagles.
And And if you talked to, and if Dabo Sweeney talked about him, said if the transfer portal would have been around when Mario was a sophomore, Mario would have left. He wouldn't have waited around for that. So anyway, I know we're going to get into the transfer portal. So
no, this is a perfect segue.
Well, I'm just saying, so it's good for some people, but it was good for him to wait because he ended up becoming a captain. You know, he was a 2-year starter. He was an all-conference player, and so it was a good deal for him.
Yeah.
So
I mean, part of our college football news is the transfer portal. So I'm glad you brought that up. But the transfer portal opened on Monday, and on midnight on Monday, and within the first 24 hours, 1,000 players entered the transfer portal. And I know that you had said you saw today that maybe more.
I saw, I think it was yesterday, there was 1,143 players in the transfer portal. And here's what's wrong with the transfer portal, is it screws the high school kids.
Yeah.
Okay? Because the quarterback from this school who wants to transfer and go to this school is screwing the kid from that high school that they were recruiting.
Yeah. Oklahoma and Ohio State, both of their quarterbacks have entered the portal.
And I know these kids now are getting to make a ton of money, you know, and it just I think if you're going to have the NIL deal, if you sign an NIL deal with your university, that you have to stay. You sign a contract like the NFL. Mm-hmm. You have to stay there for 3 years.
Yeah.
You can't play 1 year and then say, "Oh, I want more money and I'm going to go to this school." You got to stay there.
Yeah, and we talk about the NIL of it all a lot on the podcast because like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, women's basketball players at the college level, like without their NIL deals, we wouldn't know who they are. Therefore, we wouldn't know the success that they have, and we wouldn't all be bought into women's basketball. Like, so I get where NIL comes from in that sense because it brings your attention to the sport.
Right.
But like you said, like they're just on the hunt for more money and more playing time, and like it kind of negates the like working for it and waiting for it, and like wait till you get to the next level, like wait till you're in the NFL and you can enter free agency and go team to team and get more money. But like you're still a college student, and they're forgetting that.
Right. Yeah, you're already getting your school paid for. Okay.
Yeah.
But they do need to get paid like they're getting paid, because they sell their jersey for the university. The university gets all that revenue for selling. Let's just use Caleb Williams at USC, for example. Every number 13 jersey that they sell, the university gets so much money. He gets so much money off the deal. There has to be a cap on it. They can't just every year I'm going to transfer here, and then I'm going to like 1,143 people in the portal.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, why is the Oklahoma quarterback leaving OU? He's leaving OU because he's looking for more money.
Which I feel like both the transfer portal and the NIL like sprinted before they could even crawl.
Right.
There's no regulations. There's nothing to like hone in on these players that are like, why are you making this decision? What are you actually getting out of it aside from money?
And
like, to
again,
each their own, I guess. But it's like if you're a team and a leader of a team, like now you're just gonna say fuck it and
just
leave.
bailing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not against the kids getting paid, but at some point you got to put a cap on it, and if they get paid, they got to stay at that university and honor what they're getting paid.
Yeah, I agree.
So
the transfer portal's for quitters. Just kidding. It's not quitting.
It's for money makers.
Yeah, I guess, whatever. All right. Well, that wraps up our college football news. Any other thoughts?
No, not really. I think Alabama's going to win the whole thing, and then once they do, then nobody's going to have a bitch about anything.
Well, they have to at this point, because then we're going to have a whole off season of Florida State should have been in it.
Right.
And like you said, they got the short end of the stick, and
they
there's
did.
no denying that.
They got screwed.
It is what it is. It's set. So
hey,
Alabama.
My grandpa used to say, sometimes you're the dog, sometimes you're the fire hydrant. Okay? Get pissed on. That just happens.
Oh my God. All right. Well, I think that's the perfect way to head into our next story. So same thing. There's a lot going on in the NFL, so we're just going to do around the NFL. it's really the season of injuries, and there's some other things
Oh
going
my
on.
God! Yeah.
So, truly, I think it's the year of quarterback injuries.
It seems to be.
I mean,
sure.
Derek Carr of the Saints has a concussion. Trevor Lawrence of the Jags, his ankle. Kenny Pickett of the Steelers, his ankle. Aaron Rodgers of the Jets, his Achilles. Anthony Richardson from the Colts. Joe Burrow from the Bengals. Kirk Cousins from the Vikings. Deshaun Watson from the Browns. Daniel Jones from the Giants. Like, how many is that? 11?
It's nine starting quarterbacks. I would say out of that group, I mean, I know everybody wants to talk about Aaron Rodgers, but I just think that, with Joe Burrow out, the Bengals are wait and see for next year. But they're going to run into the cap problem because they're going to have to, they're paying him, then they're going to have to pay Jamar Chase, they're going to have to pay T. Higgins, they're going to have to pay Tyler Boyd. Well, in my estimation, you can't pay all those people. Okay?
My calculation.
So I'm just saying, I think T. Higgins is going to look good in red and white with the number 5. Tommy Townsend's going to have to find a new number.
I like that plan.
Yeah, that's my plan.
So, I mean, it just, this year has been insane. I feel like every time a quarterback steps on the field now, you're just kind of holding your breath because it's crazy. But
yeah.
On the topic of quarterbacks, other football news. On this podcast, Vick is very much a Zach Wilson stan. I am very much a Zach Wilson hater. But I kind of feel bad for him right now because he has been benched from the Jets after the game where he tripped over his own feet running back onto the field. He's a fucking dumpster fire.
He's terrible.
And I just feel so bad for the kid. Tim Boyle took his spot when he was benched the first time, but then they released him on waivers on Tuesday.
He said, he sucks, you're out of here.
And now the head coach is like, Zach, come back.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, I don't really know.
Yeah. I mean, that's a tough situation because Zach Wilson obviously is not the player that everybody thought he was coming out of college, So I don't know. I'd be a little gun shy if what Zach Wilson needs to do. He needs to leave the Jets and go find someplace to be a backup quarterback.
I saw somebody tweet, they were like, this is perfect. Zach Wilson can come be Pat's backup. Pat can groom him to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Groom him?
To be the
Yeah,
next
well,
Pat.
Pat's
I think
still
we're
got
past
about
that.
8-9 years
Yeah.
left in him.
Adam Schefter did report on Wednesday morning that Wilson has officially been named the starter for this Sunday's game against the Texans. So I don't know what Robert Saleh did to be like, hey, I didn't
Speaking
mean
of
it.
Robert Saleh, have you seen him with the beard?
No.
He looks like fucking G.I. Joe.
Why did he grow a beard?
I mean, this dude's got a beard with the bald head, and he looks like G.I. Joe. It's kind of cool looking.
Oh my god, I did not see that. The thing is at the beginning of the season and preseason when I was watching him on Hard Knocks, like I loved him. I was like, you're amazing. I'm all bought into what you're saying. I'm digging what you're shoveling. I love it. But this season, I'm like, you're kind of a dick. That's a slap dick, I think.
Yeah, he is a slapdick. Yeah, I would agree with you.
So I kind of, as much as I hate on Zach Wilson, I kind of understand why he was like, I don't know if I want to play.
Now that they don't have anybody, and Aaron Rodgers is not coming back from an Achilles tear.
I saw
And he's hobbling around. I mean, is he going to play in the pocket with a fucking cane in his hand?
I don't know. I saw, because he was like doing that thing where he's like, December 2nd, I'm coming back, blah, blah, blah. So somebody posted an injury report and it was like Aaron Rodgers, parentheses, attention, out. Like, because he just was fucking doing that to get our hopes up and whatever. But
Yeah.
Zach Wilson will be back. And honestly, I do feel bad for the kid because think about it. You go into the season being like, I get to chill under Aaron Rodgers. I don't really have to do shit. And now you're the starter, and then you're not the starter, and now you're back to being the starter.
Right.
Like,
I know it's a business, but at the same time, it's like, look, you wanted him, then you didn't want him. Now you want him back. I mean, it's like, really?
it's like a toxic relationship.
So how does that make your confidence? Your
Yeah.
confidence has got to be shot.
Yeah. Okay, last part of the football news. It just came out on Wednesday that Bills pass rusher Von Miller, who had allegations against him and ended up turning himself in, was booked and everything for apparently beating his pregnant girlfriend, is free to play.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't get that with. I don't know. And then the Justin Ross deal. What did he do? Break a phone or something? And he's on the commissioner's exempt list.
He broke a phone. All charges for him were dropped, and he's still on the commissioner's exempt list.
So how is Von Miller not on the? Because don't quote me on this, but I don't think this is the first time that he's been in trouble for domestic altercations.
It's not. And there's rumors that like she's recanting her statement or like I don't know. I mean, it's like the thing is that's hard for me is like I always want to believe the woman. So like until she's proven wrong or he's proven innocent, like why would she lie about that?
Right.
However, I know that does happen. So like he's innocent until proven guilty, but I just don't understand the like lack of repercussions at all. Like you were accused of this, you turned yourself in, you were booked. But now, like, nothing's happening, so, like, go out and do your job and get paid millions and, like, no slap on the wrist at all.
I agree. I mean, I don't think he should be able to play this week, and it's not because he's playing the Chiefs. It's just, look, man, you got to get your affairs in order.
Yeah, if you didn't do it, you didn't do it, but, like, let's prove that.
Yeah, let's make sure that you didn't do it instead of you just getting to play because, so, I don't know. That's a touchy situation. But I hate it that it's a double-edged sword, because Von Miller is an all-pro, Justin Ross is an unproved NFL player. I mean, so.
At that point, like player to player, it's apples to oranges. However, it's like on the grand scheme of things, like the crimes committed or not committed, accused, whatever, are not the same. And one person is being exempt from the league and one person is
right I agree
getting to go out there and play.
Yep, so I agree.
Does not make sense to me.
Me neither.
All right, so our next story, my dad's so excited about it. Big NBA guy.
Big.
Psych. And that's okay, but we're just gonna chat briefly about the NBA in-season tournament that's happening right now. So this is the inaugural tournament. This is the first time that they've had it. It tipped off on November 3rd. It's the championships tomorrow, December 9th. So.
But what's the championship?
They just get money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I was trying to be like, okay, do they like what does this mean for the rest of the season? But like it's held in Vegas. They get money.
So all the teams have played in this.
So it's broken down into 2 stages. Yes. So group play, the first stage, all 30 teams are randomly drawn and put into groups of 5 within their conference.
Gotcha.
And then after that group play, there's knockout rounds. So 8 teams advance to that. The team with the best standing in group play games in each of the 6 groups will move forward to the knockout round.
Gotcha.
It's a single elimination game. Semifinals are happening now-ish, and then the championship will be on Saturday. They win the NBA in-season cup. Like, that's it.
And this is new this year, right?
First time this year. And
so what was the reasoning to come up with this thing?
I have no idea.
Because I never even heard of it.
And it's funny because who are they talking to? They interviewed somebody, Giannis, and he was like, they were like, what are you going to do with the prize money if you win? And he was like, we get prize money? They get like $500,000.
Jesus Christ.
And so one other player on another team was like, I'm just going to give that to my kids and put that in their like savings because like I don't need $500,000. Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I'm already getting my millions.
And like, it's weird because like the courts are all crazy. Like the Lakers court is like yellow with blue lanes, and like I don't get it. I really don't. But it's notable because right now everyone's mad at the Lakers because they beat the Suns in the quarterfinals on Tuesday, 106-103. But it was a controversial ending because LeBron called timeout at a dead ball and with like the game on the line, whatever. Everyone's mad about it. But they won, and so they're moving into the semifinals. Pelicans versus Lakers on the West, Pacers versus Bucks on the East. So it's still like split up like regular NBA.
So there's 4 teams playing to get to the championship.
Correct.
And when's the championship game going to be played?
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't really.
Can we bet on that?
I'm sure you can.
God damn, I want to check out my FanDuel app.
Yeah. So by the time you're listening to this, we don't know who's going to be in the finals, but we'll let you know on Instagram. But, I mean, my dad and I are huge basketball people, so thought this would be great to talk about.
I mean, yeah. Well, you know, is Michael Jordan still playing?
I was going to say, it wouldn't be a tournament if LeBron James didn't throw a fit. But then that opens up, let's just hear from Dad. Who's the greatest basketball player of all time?
Well, I mean...
And be honest, come on.
I'm going to be
space.
honest. I mean, Michael Jordan won 6 titles, okay? He won 3 in a row. Had a little gambling issue.
Went and played baseball.
Went and played baseball for 2 years. Couldn't fucking hit water if he fell out of a boat. Okay? And then he comes back to the Bulls after 2 years and he wins 3 more. Okay? So if he doesn't leave to go play baseball because he's got an issue, I mean, he would have probably won 8 titles in a row. Okay? Now, I'm not taking anything away from LeBron. LeBron's a great player. But LeBron left Cleveland to go to Miami to win a title. Okay? I don't like that. If I had to rate my guys, it would be Jordan and Kobe.
Okay.
The Mamba. All right? He was no nonsense. He was relentless. LeBron is awesome. He's unbelievable.
This is the nicest I've ever heard you talk about LeBron.
Well, again,
you don't have to hold back.
I'm not a
here.
LeBron fan, but I respect his play. Okay? I mean, you can't deny his abilities and what he's done, but the way he's moved around to win championships, you just don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Fair enough.
So, I don't know anything about basketball, but I do love fucking Michael Jordan. He's my guy. That dude can smoke a cigar and drink some fucking whiskey.
Hey, well, I don't.
So.
You don't smoke cigars, but you can drink some fucking.
I can fucking smoke a cigar if somebody fucking gonna give me one.
But my dad will always have a handle of Jameson.
Oh, buddy.
On the ready.
I mean, that's like American Express. You don't leave home without it.
Jesus Christ. I was giggling to myself when I put this basketball story in because I was just like, I know a little. Dad hates basketball, so we're gonna talk about it.
It's just not that I hate it. I just don't know anything about it. So
it's just never. It's not your first.
Yeah, right.
Choice. So, all right. Well, that's that on that. Basketball, NBA in-season tournaments happening. The championships tomorrow, Saturday. We'll let you know what happens.
Perfect.
Michael Jordan's the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Perfect. All right. Well, that wraps up our top 3 stories. Anything else to add?
No, I got nothing.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Okay. This is where I'm excited to go. So, moving into our walkout fit of the week, Vick and I usually always pick our favorite fits, whether it be a sideline fit, a tunnel fit from the NBA, a travel fit from the NFL, like anything. And I cannot wait to see what Dad picked. But before we get into that, we have another ad. Our walkout fits of the week are brought to you by Waterboy. You want to read it?
I'll read it.
Oh, fuck yeah. Go, Dad.
Our walkout fits of the week are brought to you by Waterboy. Now, I can speak from experience because when I was needing some little pick-me-up, electrolytes, you know what I'm saying.
Electrolytes.
So anyway, Waterboy replenishes after a long weekend with a stick of Waterboy. Formulated with electrolytes and vitamins, this hydrating drink mix helps reduce nausea and fatigue and helps you chill out after the weekend out. I can attest to that. Each stick of Waterboy is vegan, has 0 sugar, includes 3 times electrolytes and vitamins than its competitors. Weekend Recovery is available in strawberry lemonade and blue raspberry flavors with the newest athletic recovery and lemon lime. Lemon lime is my favorite, by the way. So whether it's from working out or going out, reach for Waterboy.
Dad's reaching always.
Use the code for the girls, 15% off.
Do you use the code?
I do. I've used the code. I got Waterboy. I've ordered it like 3 times after you gave me the trial pack.
My favorite thing you ever did, because here's the thing. Dad listens to the podcast. He goes on his Saturday walks. He listens.
Yeah.
But you listen, or maybe you don't pay attention, because he texted me. I gave him a pack of Waterboy that they had sent us. We had extra, so I gave it to you. My dad texts me. He's like, hey, where can I get more Waterboy? I was like, what the fuck?
Well.
Go to waterboy.com.
Yeah. Put
in code for the girls, and that's how you get it.
Well, I just need you to tell me that.
Well, we got you back on track. But
yes, you did.
All right. So our Walkout Fits of the week, this is just our way of incorporating our love for fashion into the sports world. Dad, who'd you choose?
Well, it's kind of a man crush thing. I mean, my boy Patrick Mahomes in his double-breasted vest with the suit when he got off the plane and is walking into Lambeau Field. He puts the C in cool, all right, with a capital C, all right? He's cooler than the other side of the pillow.
Is it velvet?
Yeah, it's badass.
He loves a good double-breasted suit.
I mean, hey, he's on a business trip right there. I mean, and the Oakley shades, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, that is smoother than a fresh jar of Skippy right there, boys.
It's a great choice. I think I get that from you because they make fun of me. I always pick a good suit for mine. Good suit.
And you know what? I'm not even really a suit wearer, but I like a good suit. When you're QB1, you got to rock the suit. You don't walk in a hoodie and fucking sweatpants.
Nah.
Like some of those slapdicks do.
Yeah. If you knew Patrick, you'd call him a slappy.
Yeah, he'd be my boy.
But like Josh Allen or Joe Burrow, they're like slapdicks.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
cool.
You've seen what they wear into their. I mean.
Yeah.
They don't look like that.
No, they don't.
I mean, he's all business.
Whether they win or not.
Well.
That's okay. He tried his best.
Yeah.
Making chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Yeah, he's trying to make it. He's still trying to be Chef Boyardee right now.
Jesus Christ.
So.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, my fit of the week is Deebo Samuel, but also the entire 49ers team. Because, well, first I'll tell you, Deebo Samuel walked into the game against the Eagles wearing a full leather fit, a leather jacket, leather pants, these big lug sole boots. He's got his chains like 3 deep, his little clutch bag, leather gloves. He's not fucking around here.
No.
But him and the whole 49ers team, they all dressed in black. They say that it wasn't planned, but you mean to tell me that it wasn't planned for the Eagles' funeral?
Hey, so I got a little side note off the funeral thing. So in 2013, that team I was coaching, and we're on our state championship run, we would wear black tape, eye black, tape our shoes in black, because every team that we were playing, it was their funeral.
Damn, you guys are hardcore.
I mean, so I can appreciate the all black funeral for the Eagles from the 49ers.
Yeah, I mean, that made a statement. And it's one thing to be like, oh, we're wearing all black, blah, blah, blah. If the Bengals did that, I would be like, shut the fuck up, slapdicks, all of you.
Hey.
However, they wore all black, and then they backed up what they were saying.
Yeah.
And put the beat down on
Yeah, you have to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to tell them, hey, we're going to lock the gates, and we'll let those motherfuckers out when we're done with them.
Jesus. One thing about Dad, and any of his players will tell you, his pre-game speeches were insane. And I danced in high school, so at home games I would be dancing on the sidelines, but at away games I was a manager, so I traveled with my dad to different games. And like we would be in the locker room pregame, but then like my dad would walk up there and we'd all be like, "We gotta go, Coach Wags is up here." One year they tried to implement a swear jar, and didn't you walk up and put a 20 in the jar and let it rip?
Yeah. Coach Bain says, we're going to implement the swear jar. Any cussing, you're going to have to pay the swear jar. So I walked in and I said, here's 20, and this will get me fucking started. Okay? Because I'm getting ready to get after their ass. Well, I mean, goddamn. There's no way you can tell them you're going to rip somebody's head off and shit down their neck if you fucking, I mean, come on, right?
And Mom wonders, my mom, when she listens to the podcast, is like, I loved it, but you girls cuss a lot. And really, it's me. Vic doesn't cuss all that much. I mean, fuck is my favorite word. Well, and I wonder who I get it from.
It's my favorite word. So we apologize for the word fuck.
But we don't.
It's a good way to describe things. I mean, just
it
rolls
works.
off the tongues. That's right.
Perfect. All right. Well, that takes us into our breakdown segment. Our breakdown segment is where we do just that. We break it down for the girls. So we're taking a topic, a play, drama, anything that's happening in the sports world that you need more info on, and we're going to make it make sense. And I'm going to let you take this one, Dad, but we're going to break down the NFL playoff structure.
All right. So basically, right now, if the playoffs were going to start today, all right, we'll start with the NFC. The Eagles would get the bye, okay?
And that means they're the 1 seed.
They're the 1 seed. They're going to get the bye, so they're going to get the week off. So the first weekend, it would be the playoff, the wild card weekend. The 49ers would play the Packers. That's a 2-7 game. Lions, Vikings, 3-6 game. Falcons, Cowboys, 4-5 game. All right? AFC. Dolphins get the bye. That shit ain't fucking happening. Yeah. Ravens and Browns would be the 2-7 game.
Interesting.
KC and the Colts would be the 3-6 game.
I don't mind that.
And the Jags and the Steelers would be the 4-5 game. And guess what? The fucking Bengals and the Bills are home
there.
taking the gas.
Yeah.
Sucking on daddy's ass.
So that's if playoffs were to start today.
Today.
That's not the actual.
No, we got 5 games left. A lot of things can happen. I mean, there's scenarios here, there, and I mean, if the Chiefs tie with the Dolphins, the Jaguars, the Ravens with the same record, as long as we take care of business, we will get the 1 seed because, one, we beat the Dolphins head-to-head, beat the Jags head-to-head, and we only have 1 AFC loss to the Ravens. 3.
Oh, 3.
3 AFC losses. So our 4 losses, 3 of them are to NFC teams. Okay? So the 1 seed is still right in front of the Chiefs. They just got to take care of business. If they win out, they're going to be the 1 seed. There's no way around it. So
Which we've done it for the past 7
Right.
years. We should do it again, but who the fuck
exactly.
knows?
So that's where we're at on that.
So basically the structure, so when we talk about the 1 seed, the 2 seed, the 3 seed, it's based off of like the AFC and the NFC, like
Right.
where you rank. And that can be with your record, or like my dad said, if we're tied with records, then it goes off of like the divisional wins, your wins against other people you're tied with. Like there's so much that plays into it. So just because the Chiefs are the 3 seed,
It doesn't mean anything right now.
It doesn't mean anything right now. And the 1 seed always gets a first round bye. So when the playoffs start, the 1 seed automatically make it to the divisional round.
Right. So those other teams play the wild card weekend. So the Chiefs wouldn't play till like the 21st of January.
Yeah, which would be nice.
Yeah. I mean, that's,
and like what Dad was saying with like the 2 and 7 games, so that would be the 2 seed playing the 7 seed,
Right.
the 3 seed playing the 6 seed, the 4 seed playing the 5 seed.
right.
So the thing is like it seems like it's cut and dry, but it's really not, and it comes down to the wire. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but last year we didn't know we had the 1 seed till the very last game.
Right.
So it truly comes down to like the final game. So 5 games being left, that's a whole lot of game to cover. The Chiefs should be
Well,
able to cover it.
like Mahomes' first year as a starter. I mean, the Patriots lost the last week of the season to Miami, and we ended up being the 1 seed. You know, now we didn't get to the Super Bowl. We were at offsides from fucking slapdick D Ford from going to the Super Bowl, but you know, so yeah, there's a lot of shit that's going to go down in the next 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So
nothing's promised.
No.
So the little Bills fans and Bengals fans, you better say your motherfucking prayers.
That's right.
All right, well, that's the breakdown. We broke it down for the girls.
You know what? This has been one of my most favorite ever. I won state championships, but this was awesome.
Oh, well, we're not done yet.
Oh, okay.
Well, we just end on a good note. So this is our walk-up song of the week.
Oh.
So just like fashion, it's our way to incorporate our love for music into the life of sports.
What's your walk-up song?
Mine is, and don't get teary-eyed on me, Dad's a softie. He looks mean as fuck, but he is a big old softie. But I feel like in the spirit of you being on the episode,
Oh boy.
I chose Young by Kenny Chesney because we, as a family, have never missed a Kenny Chesney concert since I was in like 4th grade. And my first memory of liking Kenny Chesney was like in your Suburban. We were in the Hy-Vee parking lot, and this song was on. And then he said Lambda Chi in the song. I was like, oh my god, my dad's Lambda Chi. My dad and Kenny Chesney are best friends. I love this song, and I love this man.
Yeah.
So that's my song of the week.
I love it. That's Why We Drink by Justin Moore. That's my song.
I was like, we drink because of my song.
No.
But I get it.
That's
Your song of the week.
my song of the week. That's Why We Drink by Justin Moore is my walk-up song because it don't matter. It's Friday or Saturday. We got a charcoal burning Sunday is what I'm talking about, all right? And that's why we drink, right?
That is a good song. I forgot about it.
So, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for
on
being
on the podcast, and you know, if Vick ever needs to go out of town again,
Vick, if you ever need to go to Paris again,
yeah, go to Paris or Rome or Scotland or somewhere.
Yes. So thanks to my dad for joining us this week while Vick is celebrating her 30th in Paris. I mean, my dad and I talk sports all the time, so it was nice to do it with the girls.
Yes, for the girls.
For the girls. But yeah, so this was Name 3 Players. This is our 30th episode.
Holy shit.
Crazy. But yeah, we appreciate you tuning in. We release new episodes every Friday. We cover the hard-hitting stories, like I said, so you don't have to read them. We just talk about them. You can listen to our episodes on Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, and YouTube. To stay up to date on all things happening around the sports world between episodes and for more information on NTP events and sponsorships, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Name3Players, all spelled out. And finally, you can listen to all of our walk-up songs of the week.
Are they going to listen to mine?
Yeah, yours will be on there.
That's why we drink.
And yours is going to be on our Instagram story.
They're going to see the fit.
Yeah.
My boy, QB1.
Yeah, it's all going to be on our story.
Damn.
You're famous. You can listen to all of our walk-up songs of the week and special curated playlists for the girls by following us on Spotify at Name3Players, all spelled out as well. So you can listen to the podcast on Spotify, but you can also listen to our playlists. So, I mean, I think that about does it, Dad.
Hey, you know what? Like I said, this has been my pleasure. I appreciate you guys letting me come on. It's been way overdue. I should have been on way before tonight, but I'm just thankful that I was on tonight. And You know what? Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday. Have a good weekend for the girls.
For the girls.
Woo-hoo!
We love the girls.
We love
I'm
the
a
girls.
dad girl. I'm a girl dad.
And with that, good night.